And we are back, you guys. Hello. Can you believe it's day 8? Did you miss us? We were laughing so hard. We had so much fun with all of you. Mind-blowing amounts of fun that we had to come back because we missed you. Did you miss us? Let me know in the comment box. Did you miss us? Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the greatest training on planet Earth, the Comeback Challenge. And look at you all coming back today for day 8. That's how you know you're a leader, when you come back for the 8th day of a 7-day challenge. My goodness, how are you guys feeling? Did you get your celery juice this morning? I heard we had a shortage in the United States. We wanted to come back today because there are thousands of you just sending in questions left and right. Mind-blowing amounts of success these last 7 days. And you have questions about UPW, you have questions about your content, you have questions. So we want to leave you hanging because in Tony Robbins world, you know that we love to add more what? Value. So we are here today to answer all of your answered questions. And before we get into questions, before we bring TR up on here today, Tony, we want to make sure that we congratulate every single one of you that is about to attend the first ever Unleash the Power Within virtual. Believe it, the first ever in history, UPW virtual. Congratulations. If you are a UPW virtual attendee, will you just drop in the comment box, I'm ready. Just drop in the comment box, I'm ready. I want to honor every single one of you because today you will find that we will give you the information that is going to help you prepare to freaking unleash on July 16th. Okay, so we're going to go through a lot of your questions today. We're going to answer your questions. Remember, it's upwvirtual.com. Thank goodness Tony pulled off a miracle and connected with the CMO Zoom, and we have our seats. So we still have just a couple. If you are someone that has not gotten your seat yet, I would not walk, but I would run to go get it because we want to make sure you have a chance to get in. Again, that is upwvirtual.com. Okay, so before we even dive into all the good stuff today, because Tony's going to come on, we had such incredible questions that came in from all of you about, moments of your life or what you're going through and how UPW support and could it help you and what would it look like. And we were looking through these with Tony and he's like, I want to answer that one. I want to answer that one. I want to answer that one. And I want to answer that one. So we're going to bring him on. And before I do that, I want you to pick up a pen because I'm going to walk you guys through just a few details that I want to share about UPW. Okay, again, this is Tony's signature 3.5-day live UPW experience. This is the event. So 3.5 days live. The question that we're getting you guys are, what are the dates again? July 16 through 19. If you have not done a full stock of upwvirtual.com yet, I would go to upwvirtual.com. I would look through everything, get all the details. But again, I'm going to walk you through some very, very important details now. So take notes. Some of you have a few questions. You are sending them to me on either Facebook or Instagram. You're like, hey, I really want to go and I'm from New Zealand, and I have a question about the date because I've got my dog haircut appointment, or I have to do this, or I want to go and I've already done UPW. What will that look like? I'm going to answer everything right now, okay? First, let's go over the basics. Your dates are July 16 through 19. And then where is the location? It's virtual. So you can be wherever you are, okay? And if you missed it, the offer that was given to you guys to attend UPW virtual, the first one ever, is only for Comeback Challenge members. Did you hear that? It is only for Comeback Challenge members. So you're probably blown away thinking, wait, KK, there's no possible way. There is no possible way that we are going to get all this value inside one ticket. Abso-freaking-lutely. And you want to look at those bonuses because once the clock strikes midnight Thursday, all of those bonuses are removed. Again, we haven't opened this up to the public. We're only giving it to Comeback Challenge members. So those of you that have already signed up for UPW Virtual, take your pen out because there are some bonuses that you guys have and we haven't even shared yet. And you're going to be mind blown when you hear them, okay? So you had 3 different levels. You had GA, you had executive, and you had diamond. Now, in all these different levels, you have different levels of experience. So my first suggestion is to, no matter what level you chose, make sure that you are either choosing executive or diamond, because you guys get a live ticket included, okay, to a live UPW Tony Robbins, and you have a bunch of other additional bonuses with it. If you heard Dean last night, you guys are getting access into the post-event implementation mastermind. Now, another way to say that in Tony Robbins language is, how are you going to create lasting change? So for all of our comeback people on this call right now, after your UPW, July 16 through 19, the bonus just for you is the post-event implementation mastermind. So you can take everything that you learned and lock it in. Think of it right now. You just finished 7 full days of training with Tony, and some of you are like, what next? Lemon, celery juice. How do I implement it? Get into the community. You guys are going to have a full-on, full-fledged training community post-implementation group, so that you can secure your results. Okay, that's one of the bonuses for the comeback challenge. So we'll dive into the bonuses tonight. I'm going to take you through all of the logical questions, times, dates, details, what happens here, how do I upgrade, where do I get my ticket, how do I get my phone hooked up, all of that we're going to answer. And I want to bring on a special guest today, because there are others of you that have other questions, and you're wondering things like, will this create the results that I'm truly after? What do I do now? And we pulled some questions, and we are looking through them, because you know Tony's up until 6 a.m. basically looking in the Facebook group. He's obsessed with you guys. He loves your results. And we were looking through, and we picked a couple questions here. I think we're going to support every single one of you. A one-on-one Q&A with you and Tony right now, so he can answer some of these, and he can paint a picture of what this could look like if you find yourself relating to some of these questions. So today, hang tight all the way to the end of this training, because it's going to be Tony coming on, and then I'm going to finish up today with a little quick hit of inspiration, some training for you to lock in what you just did over the 7 days, okay? We want to make sure you can take that and turn it into results. So that will happen at the end of the training today. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on, if he was in here, I'd be like this, I'm going to bring on Tony. I don't know if you're ready. Are you ready for Tony Robbins to come on the screen right now? Are you ready? I need some energy in that comment box. The guy that gives you an 8th day of training out of a 7-day event. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? All right, I think they're ready. Can we get Tony Robbins on the screen right now? TR, where are you at? Where are you
here,
at?
guys. How are you? Good to see you, KK. Listen, everybody, there were a lot of, tens of thousands of questions. And so KK is going to walk through some of those, but there's some more emotional questions that I wanted to address for you directly. One of the questions that I heard over and over again is, what about if I'm going through a divorce? And unfortunately, no one teaches you how you can pick your partner, right? So most of us, what brings us into relationship initially is being in proximity with somebody. And if you think about your last relationships or any of your relationships, how did you get connected? Proximity, you had to be connected in some way. Now, sometimes these days that can be through the web, but the majority of the time you're around somebody, and then what happens is there's chemistry. And chemistry is not the same as what makes a relationship lasting, obviously. And then there's this chemistry, you're out of your mind. And when you're in that beautiful state of attraction and you're excited and you're connected, what happens is no matter what the person does, it's cute or it's adorable or it's amazing, no matter what it is. But as we talked a little bit about on the relationship day here, often what happens is you get depolarized. Well, what does that mean? We all have masculine and feminine energy inside. And when you go through the seminar, we're going to go through this in more depth, but I just want to plant a seed with you right now. Those two energies are very different. The masculine energy is about having an objective. You know where you're going. When I say masculine energy, I don't mean men and women, because there are some men that are more masculine, some that are more feminine. The same thing with men and women. We both share them, but one tends to be dominant. We tend to be born with one as a dominant force. And so if you're more masculine in your core, you're constantly looking for what it is you're going to make happen. You want to figure out what that driving purpose is, and you're going to push through and break through whatever it takes. There's tremendous focus, concentration. Whereas the feminine energy is like a storm of beauty. It comes in and it engulfs everything. The feminine feels everything, notices everything. You can be talking to a woman and she can feel that her child over here behind her and her husband or boyfriend over here, and over here a third conversation over here. A female brain, or I should say a feminine brain, operates differently. The right and left hemispheres are connected. And I tell you this as a background of what's this got to do with divorce, Tony? Well, because when you get depolarized, when both of you are either in the same energy, masculine, or same feminine, you can be friends, but there's no attraction. And when there's no attraction, little shit starts to build into big shit. And then it stacks and stacks and stacks until you go through those 4 R's. You go from that sense of resistance and you go to that rejection stage where you're really pissed off, or eventually repression. And then people finally hit a threshold. One of the 2 people hits a threshold and says, I'm out. Because it used to be people stayed forever, but they don't do that anymore. So how does Unleash the Power Within help you with this? Well, there are 3 aspects of this that are really important. Number 1, I don't know if you're in a divorce and you're hoping to turn it back around, you have to know your objective, right? And so we're going to help you get really clear on what do you want mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually? What do you want in your relationships? These are the pieces that this program is about. And then figure out where you are versus where you want to be. If here's where you are and this is where you want to be, we want to close that gap quickly. So what's getting in the way of closing that gap? Well, if the relationship's done, what's getting in the way is hanging on to the past and your unwillingness to make the tough decision. If you're wanting to make it work, then what's getting in the way is you do not understand fully. You think you do intellectually. What this other species that you're with is a different way of looking at life. What really truly meets their needs and lights them up so that your needs will be fed. And so in the event, you're going to uncover what are the patterns, because everything is patterns. And think of it this way. I could be an idiot at this point. I should be a help anybody, because when I travel 100 countries and I've been around, literally tens of millions of people through time, and I had, more than 5 million people go through my live events. At this point, I could be an idiot. There's just patterns you see. There's patterns that make you angry and patterns that make you excited, patterns that make you sad and worried, and patterns that make you grateful and passionate. And once you understand those patterns, you'll start to see from the seminar, oh my God, it wasn't just me or her or me or him. It was really just our patterns weren't meshed. And so if it is not through threshold, you'll know the things that you can do to figure out whether you can truly make this relationship work. And you'll leave with a 30 or 45 or 60-day plan, so that if you do what I'm going to show you for those 30, 45, 60 days, you will know, is this right or not? Because what you don't want is regret. If you're already there, then it might be about your children. It might be about your friends. How are we going to navigate that? But out of all of this, the real problem is your own internal conflict, right? Your own experience inside of like, where is this? Is it, are you blaming them? Are you blaming yourself? Are you beginning to figure out what's true? And what will come out of this event of Unleash the Power Within is the ability to be crystal clear what you want, what you don't want, what's got in the way, and how to close the gap. And that's a combination of changes in your own belief systems, emotions, psychology, your patterns, right? And it's also some strategies for understanding the opposite energy that you're in relationship with. So I always say, to influence another person, you have to know what already influences them. And quite frankly, gentlemen in the group, and I'm not being disrespectful because I'm one of you, would tend to be Helen Keller, because women are more intuitive. Women are taught to understand the implicit, not the explicit communication. A woman says, leave me alone. What she's really saying is follow me, right? But a guy takes that literal, because a man says leave me alone, he means leave me alone, right? And so learning the strategies of how to decode, interpret, and really be able to fulfill the person that you're with, whether you're going to stay as friends now because you have children, you want to be able to be really in a beautiful place together, but no longer intimate, or whether you're looking to create a relationship. These are the fundamentals you have to understand. You got to know what's driving you, what's driving them, what they love most, what they desire most, what they fear most, how to fulfill their needs, how to make your own needs fulfilled, and how to break the patterns that screw things up. And all that is covered, not just covered, we experience it. People stand up, we do interventions, and you learn by experiencing what you're doing, and you're also learning by experiencing what other people are doing from all over the world. And we have people literally from, I think now about 75 countries or 80 countries that are part of this. So you'll see this happen with a variety of people. And it's, again, you can learn these principles intellectually, but when you live them by experiencing them, you'll find a shift. And then, like, for every question I've heard, the one thing almost everybody needs is momentum. That's like what I meant by the comeback. You need momentum. I'm going to show you the science of momentum. When you feel stuck, when you feel like, I don't know what to do, when you feel like, holy shit, this can't go on forever, what do you do to change that right now? And there's a process of momentum. You see it in sports, I'm sure, where you see a team that's winning, and then all of a sudden the momentum changes, and the other team, something that happens that triggers a change, where all of a sudden the momentum shifts and the other team starts to dominate. Well, momentum is a secret in business. Momentum is a secret in your body in terms of getting yourself healthy and vital. And momentum is a secret in any intimate relationship you're going to be in. So I hope that gives you some semblance of what it is. You're going to leave with clarity. You're going to know what to do. You're going to leave with a different set of emotions inside of you. You're going to be able to break the patterns that have messed things up, and you're going to know what you want going forward. Okay? So that's the first question. What was the next question that you had up there if you want to pop it to me, KK? Did I lose you?
Right.
Okay, great.
Hey, Tone. Question number 2 is from Valerie. And Valerie says, I just lost my job due to downsizing, and I've never been unemployed in my life. What skills or strategies would I learn at UPW that will help me get through this?
Well, the first thing you're going to be able to do there is get the momentum in the state. Like, there are so many people employed, with 30 million people unemployed right now. It's insane. And they're all going to be competing for a small number of opportunities that are out there by comparison. And when the person comes in, I'm sure you know, I'm sure you've interviewed people in positions you've been in before in some company. You know that when people come in, you're looking at a variety of things. You're looking to see how qualified they are. You can read that. The reason for the interview, and you probably know their skills, maybe you're going to test their skills in the interview, but what you're really looking for is what is their level of psychology. Like, think of it this way. When you're going for an interview, if I'm interviewing somebody, there's 3 questions I'm trying to answer. Can they do the job? Now, if I'm interviewing, the answer is yes, because they've usually been pre-interviewed by multiple people, but they have the qualifications. Can they do the job? That's relatively easy to resolve. The second question is, will they do a great job long-term? And every employer has that in the back of their mind. And the way they know that is by getting a sense of who you are. How do you deal with stress? How do you deal with conflict? How do you deal when the times are rough, especially now? How resourceful are you? How innovative are you? And they're going to experience that not only from your answers, but your answer is going to be affected by your state, your mental, emotional state. I can tell you, I've met people that on paper I thought were going to be incredible. Like, you're going in the interview thinking you're going to hire them, and I come out and it's like, man, they're a dead fish. Or, I don't get it. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel congruent. So one of the most powerful things that'll come out of the seminar is this connection within yourself of clarity of what do you really want? Why do you really want it? And an energy, a physical energy, because you're going to do this day and night, night and day. It's like working out. You work out for an hour, you're not going to be pumped for life. But if you go for total immersion day and night, like, for example, if someone's going to a sport and they're getting ready for football and they go to Hell Week, this isn't hell, it's enjoyable. But we're going to train your mind, your body, and emotions to be the strongest and most certain you can. That's what leadership is. Like, everybody's uncertain what to do. They look for someone who's certain knows what to do. And when someone's interviewing somebody who has that certainty, not a false certainty, but a certainty based on your real ability, that person stands out. If 2 people are coming and one owns himself completely and they have this passion and aliveness and clarity, and they understand my company and what I'm about, that's the person you're going to grab a hold of. That's who they're going to hire. So the answer to your question can be answered in many ways, but you're going to get momentum. You're going to know how to shift your state because you're going to have to deal with rejection, unfortunately. You're going to learn how to get clear about how to influence somebody by knowing what influences them most versus someone else. And most importantly, influence yourself if challenges occur. So you can persist and you can find something greater than where you were. Because the whole idea of a comeback is not get back to where you were. Comeback is get beyond where you were. Take it so that this challenge that we faced here with COVID and with unemployment and with the racial issues, that all these things stimulate us to grow to a different level. So the answer to your question is, you're going to leave with certainty, clarity, power, passion, focus, and an ownership of yourself, and clarity what you really want, and the ability to influence. And those are the tools that will help you be employed anywhere you want to be employed, or become self-employed if you decide to do that at some point. Thanks for your question. Who's next?
All right. Next up, we have Brian Cavallero. And Brian says, the comeback challenge was awesome, but I'm skeptical that a weekend can really change my life.
Well, if you're skeptical, don't come. Remember we talked about this before. When people tell me I'm skeptical, I'm pessimistic, what I say really is you're fearful. You're afraid to get disappointed. You're afraid, what if I go to this and this doesn't work too, and I'll be disappointed in myself? You're not even worried about being disappointed in me. You don't know me. It's really about you. And I get it, because, in life, we have so many experiences. We get our hopes up and then it doesn't work. And then after enough of those, you don't really even want to believe anymore. So we get, quote, skeptical. What it really is I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to have, I don't want to have that pain inside me that, once again, I wasn't able to turn it around. So all I can tell you is there's a reason I'm still here doing what I'm doing, 43 years later in 100 countries around the world with I get the call from, the athlete burning down on national television. I got to do it right now. I get the President of the United States, true story. Bill Clinton called me and saying, like, Tony, they're going to impeach me in the morning. What should I do? And the first answer is, could you call me sooner, right? I get the phone call when the child's suicidal or the adult, and I got to intervene now. And fortunately, knock on wood, I've never lost one out of thousands. And we've made films of them. If you haven't seen Tony Robbins, I'm Not Your Guru, you might want to watch that on Netflix. Tony Robbins, I'm Not Your Guru. It's a documentary, and it takes you through one of my seminars, and then you can judge for yourself whether or not this will work. You'll see impossible changes being made in minutes with people. And then, by the way, we follow up. We show where they were 4 years later, 3 years later, and you see that the change really lasted. So I understand your skepticism, but I'd offer you one thing about, can you change your life in a weekend or whatever the case would be? It sounds like hyperbole. It sounds like BS or an exaggeration. It's not, because all change happens in a moment. Think about it. When people say, oh, it took me 10 years to change, I say, BS. It didn't take you 10 years to change. It took you a minute to change. It might have taken you 10 years to get the point where change was a must. And you said, not another minute, not enough hour. I'm changing this now. And you did it. Haven't you had a time in your life out there, guys, when you had something that you struggled with until finally you hit a threshold and your brain said, no more, and you made the change? All change happens in a moment. It's a moment of decision. It's the moment you say, I love you, or it's over, or I do, or I quit, or let's begin this new business, or you step up and you just put the shoes on, start damn running, and you haven't worked out in forever. It's the moment of decision that changes your life. And it's not your conditions that determine the quality of your life, it's your decisions. Think about it. Look back on the last 5, 10, 15 years of your life, and I bet there's been some decisions that, if you really think about it, maybe 1 or 2 decisions, they might have been small, might have been big, but if you made a different decision, you'd have a totally different life. Is it true? Right? You're heading in this direction, might even be a small decision. You're heading this direction, you make a little 10-degree shift from here to here, right? But you take that shift out a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you have a different destination, a different destiny. So decision is the power, and every change you're ever going to make in your life happens in a moment. It's getting you to that moment, right? It's like, the old metaphor they talk about is like, somebody saying, I want to fix this thing and no one knows how to fix it. And they bring in this expert and he fixes this entire, mechanism that no one will be able to fix. It takes him one moment. He takes one screw, turns it 1/4 notch, and the whole system turns on. The guy goes, oh my God, you saved my life. Thank you for coming. How much do you owe you? And the guy goes, $10,000. $10,000? You're here for 2 minutes. He goes, how about you give me an itemized bill? He goes, sure. He writes down a piece of paper, hands the guy. The guy goes in the safe, pays him, smiles, and thanks. Thank you. What does the little note say? Turning screw, $1. Knowing which screw to turn, $9,999. We know which screws to turn, and we're going to show you, more importantly, how to turn those screws within yourself. And the weekend just provides the immersion. So you think about nothing else, you focus on nothing else, you're completely inside, and there is power in concentration. I call it concentration of power. Most people are scattered. They think about 20 things, they're trying to multitask everything, they're not good at anything. Mastery is focus. If you want to master this part of your life, if you want to make a real change, if you want to be in a position where you're not so skeptical and you're able to get yourself to take action instead of letting your fears hold you back by making you think of the worst case scenario or being certain it's not going to happen, if you want to make a shift, then you make an investment in yourself in one weekend and put yourself in immersion. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. But that's a decision too, right? So we all make decisions and our life is shaped by them. But I would submit to you that for 43 years of my life, I've been helping people find the decisions within themselves that change the quality of their life. And just go online and ask people who've been to that. What was their experience? The most common phrase you'll see over and over again, and it changed my life. And it wasn't I changed their life, they changed their own. So if you're skeptical, you can still do it. If you're not skeptical, if you're skeptical still, don't do it. I'm okay with it either way, but I hope you'll give yourself the opportunity to believe that something's possible to change, because without that, no change happens. And the only way to do it is not think about it, not convince yourself, just put yourself in the environment and see how you begin to shift in a different state of mind than pessimism, because pessimism will never get you there. You know that, and I do too. Blessings to you. Who's next?
Amazing. Next up, we've got Nancy Beringer, and she wants to get in better shape. And she says, I keep losing weight, but I just can't keep it off. How do I know this will be different?
Well, you don't know anything's going to be different. I mean, that's everybody wants their life to just be a push button, but I can tell you why it's not working. And you tell me if this is right or wrong in your own experience. People that start to lose weight, and then gain the weight back, gain the weight back, they have built in a motivational system in their body. I call it the pressure cooker. Pressure cooker is, let's say you have an identity for yourself of how you should be, not your ultimate goal, but your comfort zone. And so let's say that comfort zone is, I don't know, we'll use it a temperature as a metaphor instead of your body. Let's say you go in a room and we set the thermostat and we set it for say 68 degrees. And 68 degrees is the metaphor for your comfort zone. It's not your ideal, but it's like, I'm really comfortable. It's what I'm used to. It's what I know. Now, you might have goals to make it really hot in here, really cold in here, but that's what your brain's used to. And see, once we identify it with being a certain way, like I'm aggressive or I'm more quiet, I'm more introverted, I'm more extroverted, I'm positive, I'm negative, I'm pessimistic, I'm playful, whatever it is, whatever you say I am to yourself enough over and over again, it starts to kind of be the way you are. So you get this thermostat. And what happens if we're in this room and it's 68 degrees thermostat, that's the metaphor for how comfortable you are with your body physically currently. You might want more, but you're used to it, right? 68 degrees. It might be a metaphor for how much money you have in your life, right? You might want more, but this is what you're kind of used to. It's your comfort zone. It might be a metaphor for a relationship. You want a certain amount of intimacy. You don't quite have that, but this is okay. And most people adjust to okay until something happens that pushes them a bit. And what it is you think you're a 68 degreer. And what happens if the temperature drops? It's not as good as it is. Like you start to gain more weight, way beyond where you are now, or you lose a certain amount of money, or you lose your job, or you're feeling lonely in a relationship. In other words, you think it should be like 68 and it drops to 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, somewhere around 60 degrees. What's going to happen? The computer in the brain goes, wait, you're a 68 degreer. What are you doing way down here at 60? It's not good enough. And you feel pressure to change, right? That's the pressure cooker I'm talking about. You have an estimation and you're not where you want to be. And so you finally hit enough pain, enough threshold, or enough excess weight, or not feeling good about yourself that something in you says enough. And so now you start to do something and you lose weight, right? But the problem is what you're doing. You might be doing something that works short term, but not long term. That's what most people do. And so they get frustrated. And so they just cut their calories. And of course they lose weight initially, but then your body, your thermostat adjusts. And now pretty soon you're right back to where you didn't want to be. So you get this drive and you push. You get to 60 degrees, I'm a 68 degree, and you push and push and push and push and push and push and push. And wow, you're back to where you want to be, and maybe you keep pushing. And what if you keep pushing and you do even better than you expect? You're a 68 degree, or now you're 70, 72, 78, 80, 82, 91 degrees. What happens when you're doing better than you expect? You lose the drive. Your brain goes, hey, you're a 78 degree. What are you doing up here at 91, 92 degrees? And the first thing that happens is you lose your drive. The pressure's gone. So you go, I'm doing better. I could have a cupcake, for God's sakes, right? I could have a mocha smocha, whatever it is from Starbucks, right? And then what happens is slowly you drop right down to where you think you're supposed to be. And then you stay there a little frustrated until it gets so frustrating you drop down, and then you push up again, and then you drop it down again. Same thing happens financially. If you're doing better financially, way more than what you normally are used to, you're all excited, but at some point your brain goes, hey, this isn't real, this isn't you, and you lose your drive. You stop marketing, you stop selling, you start whatever it is you're doing, right? You stop doing that. You start shopping or something else and gradually drop down. And if that's not enough, the air conditioners kick on to bring you back down to that, meaning your subconscious mind starts to sabotage things. Am I making sense? So we got to get you out of the pressure cooker, because all it does is create a yo-yo in your life. And what you're going to do here is learn how to create a momentum that is natural and where you're no longer just trying to get there. You're going to change your own sense of who you are. We call it identity, your core belief about who you are. Right now, my bet is that you believe weight is a battle, that you've had a battle a good portion of your life, that no matter what you do, nothing seems to work. Your question all shows me it's a built-in pattern that so many people have. And all we got to do is shift that pattern. And the shift it also by showing you also we got a whole day on what to do to increase your energy. Because when your energy is high, you're going to burn fat naturally. When your energy is high, you're going to feel incredible. When you feel incredible, you're going to want to move. You're going to want to do things naturally versus just dieting and up and down, up and down. Build up the pressure and then drop it down. Build up the pressure, start to feel good, and then drop it down. And then you lose confidence in yourself because it's like nothing works. And that's not true. What you've done hasn't worked. Well, I've tried everything. No, you haven't tried this. You haven't tried everything. You tried everything, you'd be where you want to be. Does that make sense? So I hope you'll give yourself this opportunity. And here's the other thing I'll tell all of you. People come very often because I want to make more money, or, I want to turn my relationship around, or I want to transform my body and really have the vitality and strength, or whatever it is they want. And you'll come and get that. But I always tell people, why you're here is not why you think you're here. And I say, you tell me if I'm right or wrong by the end. I've just done this enough times with people all in 100+ countries, millions of people, that at this stage, I've seen it. There's other things in your life you're not noticing. You're focusing on this area you're frustrated with or you think needs to improve, and we'll get that done. But, if your body's really going great, but your kids aren't great shape, this is really round, this is a flat wheel, and you're trying to drive your car 100 miles an hour because you're an achiever, you're going to have a real rough ride. Or your business is going great, or your career, but your intimate relationship really isn't there. There's going to be an emptiness and there's going to be a pain there. So a lot of people go, I want to crank that business. We'll show you. But what we're going to do is really show you how to touch all the areas of your life. And when you do that, you'll get a different kind of momentum. Think of it as a round tire instead of a tire that's got a flat side. Now you can go 100 miles an hour and it's not stressful. When you're thump in that area that you haven't mastered and you haven't mastered it, it takes away from your self-esteem, it takes away from your momentum, it takes away from your sense of certainty, it takes away from your performance, but you round that out, and what happens is, not only does it get easier, but you're able to get to what you want faster, because you've eliminated all the friction, all the internal conflicts inside of you, and that's what we're going to deal with there. So I hope that answers your question. Do we have another one?
Yes, we do. And I want to call out, I'm watching these comments live, and Diana Versteeg says this piece of advice and insight alone is already worth the UPW registration fee. So, it's incredible. Beautiful. I'm taking notes over here in the chair watching Tony. It's just amazing. We have one more question. I also want you to know, guys, I want you to know also, guys,
I just want to point out, I'm just giving you a verbal answer. What's a verbal answer is nice. It's intellectual. But think about this. When you're not where you want to be, something has to change, right? You've got to change something. When you change something, you need to make sure you experience something that makes that change real. If someone just tells you verbally, you can make a new decision. But I want you to know, we're going to take you through processes that will get this in your body. We don't have to think where it just happens. That's the power of this. It's the power of conditioning. We're all conditioned. We're conditioned. You go into a store and someone's just going to help you and you go, no, I'm just looking. Well, what is that? Well, of course you're looking, right? But natural step of no comes out of most of us. What if you trained yourself to say yes? Yes, I'm going to make this happen. Yes, I'm going to follow through. Yes, I'm going to have fun with this. Yes, I'm going to step up, right? Those experiences that sound intangible, when they're in your body, will change the quality of your life completely. Our last question.
Love it. All right, last question is from Jose Quintara. And he says, we've been married 3 years. I love my wife dearly, but we had a baby a year ago and it's like I don't even exist. Our young son gets all my wife's love and attention. We've had sex 4 times in the last year. I don't know how much longer I can be ignored. Can UPW help?
Well, let me offer one simple approach, and I know this probably won't feel good to you, but you're suffering. I get that you're suffering, and this is a common pattern. It's not your wife doesn't love you and loves the child more. This is hormones. And then it's your sense of loss. And then there's probably a fight inside you, is my guess, because I'm sure you love your child, and I know you love your wife, or this wouldn't matter to you, Jose. But the fight inside is, some part of you knows, well, God, this is so important. This is our child. I love that my child's being loved, but hey, I want some intimacy. I want my wife back. When a child is born, something else is born. It's called a mother, right? And a mother makes different decisions than maybe the woman you dated or just the woman you married. But here's what you need to understand. There's still that sexy, playful, fun, beautiful soul in there. And right now she's getting a lot of her love needs met through your child. And that's absolutely true. That's God's grace, right? But you have to be a man and not a boy. And I'm not being derogatory in any way, because I've experienced similar things like this at one stage in my life. It's just natural. You just feel a sense of loss of that aliveness that you guys had together. But what's really happened also is her hormones have changed. She's fulfilling that area, but she also, these other parts of her have gone to sleep. And your job is, in the right timing, elegantly, to waken those parts up, because if you wake them up, she's going to feel more alive too. And so there's a point where, and this hopefully will be helpful to you. There's a point in anything you do where even if it's totally fulfilling, it's not enough, because human beings are designed to grow and expand, because when we grow, we learn, we grow, we expand spiritually, emotionally, then we have more to give other people as well. Make sense? And so what's happening here is your job really is to be the man and to not be the little boy who's feeling, left out. And listen, naturally, a part of you is going to feel that way. I'm not making you wrong. But there's another part of you. There's a part of you that owns this woman's soul, Jose. There's a part of you that she loves and adores and hungers for and desires, but it's about timing. And we're going to show you that in the seminar, because I always tell people, if you plant in the springtime, you got a really good approach. But if you do the right things, if you work your ass off and you plant in the winter, you're going to weep in the fall, right? It just doesn't work that way. It's like buying a house. Is that the right thing to do? In most cases, the answer is yes. But in 2008, 2009, hell no, right? You'd be down 20 or 30%. So you got to do the right thing at the right time. So we're going to help you understand how female energy, feminine energy, how it moves in cycles. It moves in cycles in terms of a woman's time each month in our biochemistry. But there's a time for her, even now as a mother, where she's going to be much more easily arousable. That's number one. But number two, you got to find the part of you that will pull out that playful, sexy, beautiful woman inside her besides the mother. So you got to learn to acknowledge the mom and make that mom feel totally loved, and simultaneously find your own strength. And there are things we're going to do to make you feel strong so you don't feel that sense of loss. Because if you come to her with a sense of loss, then she's got two babies. She's got to deal with the baby here, and she's got to deal with her man baby. Like, holy shit, I'm going 20 hours a day trying to feed the kid. I love you, but I got to do all this stuff. But she also needs the break too. She needs the break too. So if you find the right timing, the right system, and you're not in a broken place, which you won't be, I promise you, come through this event, you're going to break through every kind of challenge you can imagine during this 3.5 days and nights. Just think it was 4 days and nights of total immersion. You're going to come back as a different man, and she's going to feel it. And I know I'm trying to describe this to you verbally, and you may not have ever experienced it, like describing what a rose smells, someone who's never smelled one. But there is a state that's available in any masculine human, masculine man in your case, that when you step into that state, your presence is so powerful. And maybe some of the women who are watching this can write in the sideline so you can see whether they think it's true or not. There is a place of you being so clear, so present, so centered, so unwounded that she cannot feel anything but joy, attraction, love, drive to be connected to you. And that's what we need. Because otherwise, brother, you're going to take one of the most beautiful things in your life, your child and your wife, and you're going to start to resent them or feel angry or sad or hurt. And you're probably already feeling some of those things. And if you keep stacking them, and if you don't come learn how to break that pattern, which is what we're going to be doing, then you know where this is going. You've already said it. The language, if I heard it correct, was like, I don't know how much longer I can be ignored, I think is what you said, right? So that tells me that you're at the edge. Listen, if you have to leave this relationship for whatever reason, that's one thing, but I wouldn't do it unconsciously. And I don't think this is the place you want to leave, not when you just had this beautiful child. So I implore you, you got, what you're doing isn't working, brother. And you need to educate yourself, but more importantly than this part, we got to get this part so it's so strong that you're not wounded. No woman who's also taking care of a child is going to be pulled and attracted to a man who's wounded. And you probably don't even see it. But your question tells me it's there. So I hope you hear the spirit in which I'm offering this. It's not correcting you or telling you what you're not doing. It's just, I hate suffering, and so many couples are suffering. And Unleash the Power Within is about ending suffering, period, by first ending it in you. You end it in you, and you can affect anybody else. But how are you going to move somebody else when you're not moved? How are you going to touch someone when you're not touched? How are you going to make somebody feel deeply loved and desired and hungered for when you're not feeling that? You can't. So we got to start with you. That's where we're going to go. I hope some of these questions, I asked to find like the 5 questions we heard versions of the most. I hope these are helpful to you. And listen, if I don't see you, I send you my love. I hope you found great value in the 7 days, but I hope you'll go deeper with me and give me the privilege of getting to coach you 4 days and nights in total immersion and connecting you to literally friends from all over the earth. Like I said, I'm sure by the time we're done here, we'll have people from 70 or 80 different countries, maybe more. Many of which will become dear friends because we do a lot of processes where you team up with people. And a lot of people come out of this event and say one of the greatest parts about it is not only the transformations they had, but the network, the mastermind, the dear friends that they pulled from it as well. And I'm just really, really excited to be able to serve you and grateful to the grace of all that we've done together already, and excited to serve you more if you'll let me have that opportunity. So have a magnificent day, and I'll throw it back to KK for any other questions that you guys have. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you, Tony. And I'm going to go off cuff here. I am watching the Facebook group right now, and I saw a comment come in. This is from Inessa Chavez. And I want to bring this up because I think that there might be a few of you I saw in the Facebook group reading your post that are thinking this, maybe feeling this, the same thing. She says, "Hi, KK. I want to sign up and I'm having trouble knowing exactly what I want. If I knew, I can go for it. I just don't think I can sign up for a program when I can't even figure out what I want." And she put a sad face. And I feel a sad face too, because my question back to you would be, how much longer do you not want to know what you want? And the second question Tony answered here so elegantly and beautifully. He said that UPW is about that certainty, that clarity, and that power. And just we referenced the other question, I'm skeptical if I go, okay, so don't, but what happens if you do? What happens if you do get that clarity? What happens if you give yourself the opportunity to figure out the thing that you want? Because he's been doing this for over 43 years. I mean, we have people that fly in from 74 countries. We translate 8 different languages simultaneously at our in-person live events. I mean, it's a proven system, but if we're not going because of a thought that we don't know what we want, then we might just not know what we want for another 5 years. And I would really ask you, how has that lack of clarity affected you up until this point? And then if you go another 5 years without the clarity, this is about getting you the clarity that you need and want and desire now, so you don't have to wait another 2, 3, 5, 10 years of not knowing you want. Like the same thing he's doing these 7 days, compressing decades of knowledge into days. That's what this is about. It's about immersion. It's about really tapping into who you are, what do you truly desire, and there's really no one better on planet Earth. But that's going to come down to the decision that you make on, do you want the clarity? Sometimes it's easier to not be clear, because then we don't really have to do what? Take action, move forward. But clarity is waiting for you. Clarity is waiting for you, Inessa. I wanted to check your name. Definitely jump in there. It's upwvirtual.com. If you've just watched Tony so beautifully answer all of those questions, I hope you are taking notes. We went through relationships. We went through your body. We went through your passion, your love, the polarity. I mean, so much good, juicy content there. I hope you grab that. It's upwvirtual.com. We got a few more seats from Zoom. We just want to make sure you are all educated with all the answers and the knowledge that you need about UPW. So like I say, run, do not walk, and grab your seat before they're all gone, because this is July 16 through 19. It's brand new technology. We have limited seats. I want to make sure you guys get in there. Okay, I'm going to jump into some questions here that came through that are a little bit more just logical questions that we got these past few days. And I'm also taking a look at the Facebook feed. I'm doing it like 7. I'm like an octopus right now. I'm doing 7 different things at one time. If you have questions, drop into the Facebook feed and I'll answer them live for you. So you just say, "Hey, KK," and drop your question. Before I do that, the question I'm seeing most in here is about the bonuses. I want to clear this up. Yes, when you sign up through Comeback Challenge, you get Dean's Ethical Influence Training Program automatically included. So some of you are thinking, well, what's ethical influence? Why would I have to do that? What is influence? Why do I need it? You can think of the second day of an Unleash the Power Within event, which is all about influence. It's the number one skill set any human being could ever master, is the power of influence. I'm sitting. I feel like I need to stand up. Think about like when you influenced your partner to start dating you, or you influence, you're at the rental car place and you're trying to get a higher luxury vehicle, right? Like Siri said, are you in a luxury vehicle or are you in a rental car? And when you're influencing, it's the greatest power that a human being can have. What Dean is going to teach you is, let me give you this metaphor. Have you ever walked into a bar or a party or just a social gathering and you met someone for a second and you felt like you had known them forever? Like you just felt like you just old souls, you're connected, kind of like you and I, right? It's like that, but what if you could do that with absolutely everyone you meet? What if you connect with somebody in a moment with everyone you meet? You're all in different businesses. Some of you are lawyers, some of you are doctors, some of you are entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, you're full-time mamas, you're business leaders, you're executives, you're doctor. You have all these different careers in here, such a beautiful breadth and depth of human, but influence is at the cornerstone of everything. And to feel really good about influencing another person for their higher good, that's what a leader is. They can influence for someone else's desires and needs, not your own. That's what influence is. And Dean has been doing this for a long time, a very long time, and he's the best in the world, truly. And so he was live yesterday and gave that bonus, and we were all like, wait, did Dean just say he's doing an ethical influence training program? Because he has paid $100,000 for that keynote speech. I know, because I want him for keynote. He's paid $100,000 to deliver that keynote speech, and he's going to give it to everyone in the Comeback Challenge, okay? He's going to do it live. So the moment that you sign up, upwvirtual.com, any level, the moment you sign up, you are going to get an email back from his team in a couple of days, and it's going to have dates, times. He's going to do it live with you just like this. So ethical influence. How to really connect with a human being, how to get to a yes, how to really unlock, and Tony's favorite word, unleash what it is that's going to connect you with another human being. And ultimately, if you're in business, if you want to sell a product or a service, whatever it is, it's going to help you. And that's the bonus attached to your UPW virtual. I'm just freaking blown away at what you guys are getting, because I remember when I went to my first UPW, I paid upwards of $4,000 for 2 tickets. And you guys are getting a UPW virtual, a UPW live with Tony Robbins in one, and you're getting like a bajillion other bonuses. I was just reviewing them before I got up here. Like, you're going to get Dean's Ethical Influence Program. You're going to get a Q&A with Tony. You're going to get 1,000 meals donated in your name, some of you. You're going to get 3 30-minute fast track training sessions with me, designed by me and Tony. I mean, that alone, freaking what? You're going to get 8 weeks of advanced training. If you are in Diamond, I run the most sought after 8-week training program in the nation, and you're going to get that included. I'm just saying. It's crazy. All right, let's go through some of these questions that you guys have. I'm going to tick through to the Facebook. We have other questions that are not answered yet. I'll do my best to hit on those, but I'm just going to go through some of the most common questions that were asked between yesterday and today. And we've pulled these, and I'm going to go through them now. So these are definitely ones that you'll want to take notes on, because they're more specific, they're more fact-based, okay? So question number 1. What's the schedule every day, KK? What are the dates? What are the times? Do I need to take off work? I'm across the country. What do I do? What time do I need to be on? So we designed the virtual UPW to be exactly like a live, in-person UPW with Tony Robbins. So that means it is going to be all day. Tony goes all day. He adds more what? Value. Have you seen him do just an hour here today, or is he doing like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours? Basically, my point for saying that is clear your schedule. You don't want to have like dinner, with the family scheduled for one of the nights, and clear your schedule. It's immersion. Get locked the heck in. Commit yourself to those 4 days. Clear everything off your calendar. I made a joke yesterday, but I really wasn't kidding. I said some people, I saw the comments were like, well, I got my wedding on that day. And for me, I'm like, there's literally nothing in the world that would get in the way of you going to UPW, because it's so unbelievably transformative. And I was like, 50% of them end in divorce. Cancel your wedding. Bring your partner to UPW. Freaking get married at UPW. Tony will marry you on stage. How about that, right? Clear your schedule. This is super important. Okay, so tentative times. We're still massaging a few of the times. Tentative is going to be like 10:30 a.m. Eastern-ish. Okay, if you want to write that down, 10:30 a.m. Eastern-ish would be the start time. These are subject to change. We're kind of ebbing and flowing. We're working with Zoom. We got a few more spaces implemented into our technology so we can fit more of you. So we're just kind of working on that timing there. But that is going to be the ish time zone. If you're in a different time zone, you're like, KK, girl, that's 3 a.m. where I'm from. If I were in your shoes, I would just change your alarm, change your clocks, get yourself set up, and I would do a 3 a.m. UPW party. Just change up it's like you flew in. You flew into the States for this, and run it like you're really, truly there live, okay? Next question is, will there be a replay? This is a good question. If you attend a live in-person UPW with Tony, we do not send out a replay after because it's immersion. It's about getting yourself locked into the environment. So it's the same thing here. There will not be a replay. And that's also for your advantage. When you're at home in a virtual setting, it's really easy to have distractions. That's why we created with Tony a little kit that you guys are going to get in the mail. It's going to show up at your house. There's a bunch of fun things inside of there. Like there might be a sign that you put up on the door that says Genius Training in Progress. Things that you can do to set up your environment so other people aren't impacting you. And I would write that down. What conversations do you need to have with your loved ones about you really having those days? Do you need to get a sitter, or do you need somebody to cover a portion of your business, or do you need an away message to go up on your email? What are the advanced things that you can do to set yourself up for success so those 3.5 days are for you? Be selfish about it. Really, truly be selfish about it. How many of you right now, be honest, quarantine, want 3.5 days to yourself? Throw a hand up, right? You want 3.5 days totally alone to just do you, to just sink in, to be selfish, to work on yourself. That's what you have here, okay? That is what you have. Block everything off. So no, there will not be a replay. It's going to be exactly like a UPW except for a few tiny variations to fit you being at home. All right, next question. Can I upgrade my package? This is an incredible question because I noticed that a lot of people chose general admission, and it makes sense because it's super affordable. It's $345 and it's $695, and they applied your credit for being here today, so it dropped it to $345 only till Thursday. Now, if you chose GA, you missed out on something really incredible. And that's the fact that in executive or diamond, you also get an event credit to attend Unleash the Power Within live with Tony Robbins at any point in the next 18 months. Okay. So that means you get UPW virtual and you get to be in person with Tony Robbins all in. I think it's $695 for executive. The lowest price ticket at a regular UPW in person is $11.95, the lowest price ticket. And now you guys are going to get $6.95. You're going to get 2 tickets. You're going to get a ticket to virtual and a ticket to in a whole other bonuses. So I'm getting this question about the upgrades because people are like, crap, I didn't realize that I had a live ticket included as well. What do? I need to get into executive before it sells out. Yes, you do, because once it sells out, I couldn't even help you if I wanted to. If it's sold out, the technology limit, there's a hard limit on it. So if you want to upgrade your seat, which my professional recommendation is upgrade your seat, at least to executive. If you really want to do this thing full throttle, go diamond. You're going to go to upwupgrade.com. Okay. Or you can go to upwvirtual.com and chat with one of our live representatives. They can help you as well. If you want to do it on your own, upwupgrade.com. All right. Next question. Can someone else from my house join me? Can someone else from my house join me? How many of you had someone else from your house joining you during the 7-day challenge? Tony saw you guys on the screen, and his thought on that was get freaking resourceful. You know, there are some of you on here right now, even messaging me on Instagram saying, I really want to do it. I really want to do it. I really want to do it. But this, you know, or I don't have the money. And something that I learned from Tony that is honestly one of the greatest takeaways. He's my greatest mentor in my life. He told me something. He said, never give yourself 2 options. Never give yourself yes or no, because what'd you give yourself? A dilemma. If you can only do it maybe, or if you can't do it, then you literally gave yourself a dilemma. Always give yourself 3 or more options to figure out a way to make something happen. And that's called not a lack of resources. It's how resourceful are you willing to be? So he literally told you on the camera, he's like, if I were in your shoes, I would go find someone with the money that wanted to go, and I would sit my ass down right next to them and watch it with them. Really get creative, because if we say no to ourselves, that's usually what we do. We tell ourselves no, and we miss out on everything right in front of us when you guys are literally in such close proximity to the greatest mindset and psychology training that has ever existed on planet Earth. We are just lucky to be on planet Earth at the same time as Tony, truly, honestly. So get resourceful. And the answer to that question is, when you buy 1 ticket, you're going to get event materials for 1 person. That's all I'm going to say. When you buy a ticket, you're going to get event materials for one person. So if you bring over Uncle Johnny and your friend Sarah and cousin Trish, and you're like, let's do a watch party, let's all watch it. You bought one ticket. You're only going to get event materials for one person. And get gritty, get resourceful. You guys are at the edge right now. Some of you are like, God, I want to do it. I'm coming on every live. You're here today again. Figure out a way to get resourceful and make it happen. And if that means that you go in with somebody and you split it, I mean, right now it's like $86 a day. That would make it like 40 something bucks a day. That's nuts. Really, really get in there. He wants to honor you for being somebody that can think creatively like that. You know, his story when he was, he only made $40 a week as a janitor, and his cassette tapes that he wanted to get, his first set of cassette tapes training program were $35. And he made $40 in 1 week. But he got resourceful. He figured out a way to make it happen, you know, and now look what he's been able to create from that one decision. And here's the thing. Oh my gosh, I got to say this. You tell me, have you learned the skill sets in the last 7 days that can make you the type of person that can find $345? I hope you have. What you have learned over the past 7 days is unfreaking believable. And that knowledge, that skill set, put it to practice right now. Let this be the first challenge you overcome with your new knowledge. You've learned so much. What story do you need? What state do you need to be in? What strategy must you find? And then he says, if it doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. He says you're the type of person that goes until you get the outcome that you want. Okay. All right. I hope that answered the question. All right. Next question is, what is the content each day? Ooh, this is my favorite question. Do you guys have a notebook out? How are you doing? Let me check on you here on Facebook. Take your notebook out because I am about to give you guys a massive overview on what this is. Okay, UPW virtual. Okay, you guys are crushing it. All right. Content. Here we go. This is my favorite event that we have. Why? Because it's like the springboard. It wakes you up. It unleashes this giant inside of you. So day one, you guys are already at a much higher level than most people are when they walk into their first UPW because you're fresh off of 7 days of live training with Tony. But day one is called Fear into Power. And I would write that down somewhere really, really big. Fear into Power. This first day is the day that Tony teaches you how to tap in to what we call a peak state on your command. It's not something that you're learning like teacher, student, like you're sitting down writing it out. It's literally becoming a part of you in your body, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You're training it so it's like a muscle. So you can turn it on whenever you want. Like you call upon it and boom, it's inside of you. It's the same way that Tony can get off a red-eye flight traveling from all over the country to literally different countries, and he gets off right in the morning, and then he jumps on stage to serve you guys for like 15 hours in one UPW day. How does he have the energy, people ask? Like, how does he not get off stage to pee? It's because he can command that within his body. But that's also when you have feelings of fear. Like, I think back to my first time going to UPW, I was a habitual procrastinator. Who can relate, right? I would procrastinate on everything because I was like, maybe I could just find a way to, will I make it? Will I make the flight? Will I turn in the thing? Will I complete the deadline? Like I loved to procrastinate. I was addicted to it. And I really had this fear of, would I be good enough if I got it done? And so I had all this fear inside of me and I could tell that that was limiting me, right? Like my future was staying stuck in the future and I was majoring in the minors. So days would turn into weeks, would turn into months, and I would never go to where I wanted to go in my life because I was so right here. Have you ever been there before? Oh, it makes me frustrated just thinking back to it. But on day one, you learn this skill set to tap into this peak state. And honestly, there are probably some of you on here right now that have hung out with me these past 7 days and you're like, KK's got a lot of freaking energy. I do. But do you think I just woke up in the morning peeing glitter like this? I conditioned this within my body, and my peak state isn't yours. Get your own peak state. Yours is going to be your state of flow, your state of confidence when you're just fucking crushing it. When you had that killer day, or you closed a deal, or you had an incredible date, or you just had a day where your entire family was taken care of and you just like hit yourself off the shoulder. You're like, yes, that full state of flow, effortlessness, ease. What if you could create that inside of your body on your command? That is what a peak state is. So all day, it's becoming a part of you. And that's why I say you're not learning it like writing it down. It's literally getting ingrained inside of your body day one. That's why he says, tell people you're gone for 4 days. I saw someone in the comments, should I get an Airbnb? Great idea. Lock it up. And then you're in that mode, you block everybody out and you condition this inside of your body. You condition it inside of your body. So that way, when you need it, boom, you turn it on day after day after day, hour after hour after hour after hour. And it's a part of you. And then at the end of this day, you need to take this feeling and you need to lock it in. Lock it in. And we might have something on the website. It's upwvirtual.com, okay? We might have something up there if you want to check it out. But at the end of day one, you need to lock in this feeling. And this is exactly why some of you right now feel incredible after these 7 days. Like you feel on top of the gosh dang world. You got your finances and your relationship, grab every baby, love you, and it's going to criticize you, make you feel safe, all the things you learned, right? And you feel good. And then sometimes we dip. Why? Because a belief alone does not take you to the finish line. That's basically Tony's message these 7 days. If you believe, if we could just believe our way to results, we would all be walking around bouncing quarters off our abs, driving Ferraris, and having tight butts and living in Fiji. It doesn't work like that. We must execute. So at the end of the first day, Tony's going to have you do something where you stand in front of a seemingly impossible obstacle. In your living room, in your home office, in your Airbnb, whatever you do. And you're going to be like, wait, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. It's like the way some of you feel right now when you really, really, really want to do this, but there's a part of you that's like holding back. How do you break through? How do you step up in those moments? That's what he trains the people that are the best in the world at doing. Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Hugh Jackman, Serena Williams. You know, Steph Curry, does he know how to make a half-court three-point shot? Yes. So why is he training so relentlessly? It's because the edge. It's the moment when you want to do it, but there's something about you that's like resisting it. How do you break through in that moment? That is what he teaches people how to do. So you can get to optimal performance literally when you declare it. Oh, I'm firing myself up in here. So you're going to do this thing at the end of the first day when you have this obstacle and you're like, I don't want to do it. And the same things that hold you back time after time after time are going to pop up. Too young, too old, peaked in high school. Everybody hates me. I don't have a business degree. I'm not good enough. Whatever it is. And in that moment, this one moment, remember Tony said, change happens in the moment. You're going to look at that thing dead in the effing eye and you are going to step up and plow through it. And then you're going to be like, holy crap, if I can do that, I can do it. I should just stop right there. Day one alone will change your damn life. And for my friend that said he was a skeptic, if it's going to change everything, well, what if it does? You'll never know. But you got to put yourself in that fire. You've got to put yourself in that moment where you can step, or else how do you know what you're capable of? That's what we're addicted to. Once you taste this one time, it gives you momentum. Okay, that's day one. Day two is called the power of influence. The single most important skill set that any human being could ever learn in their life is influence. And I'm not saying learning how to influence other people to like buy your stuff or do your thing, not that type of influence. There's this misconception that we want to influence everybody else. And it's because the majority of human beings haven't figured out how to influence the most important person, which is who? Themselves. To influence the food and the drink that they put in their mouth, influence how they communicate with someone at the end of a long ass day and they're hungry and they're tired. Influencing ourselves is what gets you 3 feet short of the goal line and you still step up. That's the person you want to influence. So day two, you're on all of the skill sets to influence you so that when you're in that line of fire, you never bail again. You step up. Woo! Day three. I talked about this the other day. Day three. Who remembers what it is? Drop it in the comment box if you remember. Day three is called Transformation Day. Transformation Day. And on Transformation Day, Tony's going to have you identify your top 3 limiting beliefs, patterns, behaviors that have ever shown up in your life. Like for some of you, it's the one that literally is in your gut right now. It's those limiting things, the reason that we always drop out, give up, back down. Those top 3. So in my experience, that was procrastination. I went into my first UPW and I was like, I don't even need 3. If I could just stop effing procrastinating, everything in my life would change. And I went in only focusing on 1. And you're going to go through a process. It's like an all-day process. That's why we say cancel the dinner with your friends, like clear your schedule for these days. Go all in. Bring your family. You have someone visiting, bring them. You're going to go through this transformational process where you're going to identify your top 3 limiting beliefs, patterns, or behavior, because everything we run is just a pattern. You've just practiced it. And then you're going to go through a process where you annihilate, literally annihilate those beliefs from your nervous system so they never show up in your life again. And once you do that, once you can really just completely remove a pattern, the thing you go back to every time, remember you're divorcing that story. Imagine divorcing a belief. Wow. Imagine divorcing a pattern. That's what happens on that day. You completely just annihilate them from your nervous system so that they don't show up again. That's day 3. It's transformation day. The analogy I love to give is like a CD or a pattern. You pop a CD into your car player and it plays a song, and it plays the same song over and over and over and over and over again because it's a pattern that we run. So if we want to annihilate the pattern, you either crack the CD or scratch the CD. And that's what we've got to do, is scratch that pattern so it's interrupted. Okay, that's day 3. And then day 4, you guys know, is health, energy, vitality. And there are some of you on here that were like me, and I was like, I want a kick-ass body. I want a tight butt. I want toned arms. I want unstoppable energy. And that's why I was so invested in the 4th day. I will tell you, those things can be side effects of it, but it's not about the sexy body and the tight butt. It's about the energy that you can produce on your command. It's about that unstoppable energy that literally flies out of you all day, all night. The energy that gets you up early in the morning and you don't want to go to bed at night. It's when your feet hit the ground and the universe is like, holy shit, you've arrived. That type of energy, that type of zest, passion, spunk, desire for your life, that's called vitality. So Tony brings in the top experts, scientists, doctors from all over the world, and he has them train you live in the moment on the 12 master principles of pure energy. What you're eating, what you're drinking, your freaking celery juice, what your breath work looks like. It's all of it packed into one. And so what do all 4 of these days have in common is that it's really about your emotional state. Write that down. I didn't mean to turn this into a training, but write that down. What is your emotional state? It's the way that you feel. Literally the way you feel on your command. So the question I would ask and pose right now, do you want the external world, the things you can't control, traffic, spilling your coffee, your significant other being in a crap mood, do you want that to influence how you feel? Or do you want to influence how you feel literally on your command, on your call? And if you want to do it on your command, that's called the internal world, you having control of it. That's why you see Tony with such certainty. He's so in control. He's like, I got this. I got this. It's that level of resiliency and focus, okay? Those are the 4 days. I hope that answered your question and clarified the content here. UPWvirtual.com is where you guys can go if you want some more details on that. You can get every single piece of information, UPWvirtual.com. Run, don't walk. Those are the 4 days. I love them. If you have more questions, drop them in. Okay, let's move on. All right. Someone says, yes, KK, I want to hug you. I love your energy. I love your energy. Hello, everybody. All right. Here we go. Day 4 was health day, if you missed it. Moving on to the next question. Will there be better pricing for this? Who put this on here? No! Are you kidding me? You guys, the lowest price ticket you could ever get for a Tony Robbins event is $10.95 or $11.95, one of those two. I know this because I traveled the United States for Tony 354 days a year. Every 3 months, I moved to a new city. I train companies and teams all over the globe, and we have the lowest price. We do group packages for companies and teams, and the lowest price I've ever been able to offer is $6.95. And I'm Tony's right hand. I'm his number one. He only gives me $6.95. So when I read you guys were getting $345, I was like, the frick? What? So it's only for comeback crew members, okay? You would be absolutely freaking nuts, crazy pants not to jump on this, all right? I'm watching you. $345, I think it's $695 for executive, but it also includes a live ticket. So that's why I'm saying, you guys, executive or diamond. Figure out executive or diamond. If you just need to get in right now, if it feels impossible, you're trying to figure out how to even pay your bills, then GA is an incredible option for you because you're going to get the live event and the tools that you'll learn from there. Frickin' implement those and let's get you to a live event, okay? All right, next question. How's everyone feeling out there? I'm alone in the studio here. We got the tech team. Hey, guys. Feeling groovy. All right. What do I need to make sure I can join the virtual experience? I don't have any high-tech equipment. Great question. This is for those of you that are like, I can't do virtual because my laptop sucks. I have an outdated iPhone. I don't know how to set it up. I'm not technologically savvy. You are in good hands, okay? This is a very simple setup. Do you have a phone? Do you have a laptop? Do you have a TV? Do you have a computer? If you have any of those things, beautiful. If you have a friend that has one of those things, beautiful. My suggestion for you is this. I'm going to answer this with one phrase, okay? The bigger, the better. The bigger, the better. When you guys are setting up your environment, if I were you in your position about to do the first virtual UPW ever, I would get all my distractions, as many as possible, out of the way. I'd get sitters if possible. If not, no big deal. Bring your family with you. But I would just give myself a space where I can fully immerse and fully focus. Tony says focus is power. That down somewhere. Focus is power. So I would get all the distractions out of the way. And then you just definitely want steady internet access. So make sure your internet's up to speed. You guys can test that. Just Google how to test your internet. Test your internet. And you're going to want some type of like laptop or screen that has a webcam. So majority of laptops right now already have a camera built in. This is a camera on event because this is what's going to happen. Tech's going to be mad at me right now, but this studio, you can keep it there. This studio is going to be so big. Tony's going to walk up to you and tap your face, and then he'll be able to talk to you one live. Okay. He spent like $3.5 million on this studio. So it's going to be massive. He'll walk up and he'll be like, Benny, what's up? Talk to me. So if you don't have your camera on, it's going to be really hard for you to engage with Tony. Camera on event. So you're going to want a laptop with a webcam. If you don't have one, you can go on Amazon, just Google webcam. You can order one. It literally clicks right on top of it. You can set it up on a TV if you want to. That's why I like to say the bigger, the better. Put it on a flat screen, project it onto your wall. Just really make an experience out of it. And then you're going to want some type of comfortable seating. You're going to be sitting, standing, but you don't want bleacher butt. So make sure you have some type of seating that makes you feel good, makes you feel comfortable. You're going to get a digital workbook that's coming soon. You're going to get event materials later. So don't even ask about that now. You're going to get a whole package from our team with everything that you need. I also suggest that you guys get a separate workbook, a separate notebook. Okay, to take notes, and get a few of your favorite pens. You're going to be so energized. You're going to be throwing your pens in the air. You're going to be giving them to your neighbors. You're going to be sharing them with everybody. Like, have pens, have a notebook. The amount of freaking genius that you are going to unlock is unreal. I want you to have ample paper without having to leave to go get paper to come back, okay? Have some snacks, some healthy snacks set up for you to keep your body going in a peak state. Set those up already. Like, literally have your day set up so you do not have to leave. Yes, you can leave to get bathroom break if you need to, but I mean, Tony doesn't even leave to go to the bathroom. So really lock in. You're not going to want to miss anything. Let's see if I missed anything. Workbook, comfortable seat, webcam, internet access. Bigger the better. Large screen, laptop, tablet can work. If you have a tablet, that's totally fine. Can you join from multiple devices? Yes, you can log in on multiple devices with your secure login details. So you could have it open on your laptop, phone, and TV, but all of them will require you to log in. It could be no more than 3 devices at one time. That's a little more detail than we need today. Just get yourself on a big-ass screen, okay? Lock it in. upwvirtual.com is where you guys can grab your ticket. All right. How do I get my in-person event ticket? Once you guys get your virtual ticket, it is going to come immediately to an in-person event ticket. You're going to have virtual. It'll automatically be included if you got executive or diamond. How do I know if my equipment is set up or prepared? Don't worry about it yet. You guys are going to have an incredible virtual registration process where we take you by the hand and walk you through that entire thing. You're also going to get an email with instructions on July 13th if you want to write that down, okay? Where will I get my event materials? Once you're registered, you're going to be led to a UPW virtual dashboard. UPW virtual dashboard. You don't have to worry about it yet. Our team will send it to you. You'll have everything you need. And again, we'll take your hand and walk you through it. And then a few last questions here are bonuses. You guys get these bonuses only for a comeback challenge. And I say that with you because this is supposed to end at Thursday at midnight. But I'm getting signs flashed at me right now that all of you on here are grabbing the seats so quickly. We're selling out really fast. Okay. So I don't know if it'll go all the way until Thursday at midnight, but this is like straight up the last time we'll share it with you. We haven't shared this publicly outside of our own Tony Robbins community. So we're only giving it to you. You'll see that we haven't put it on socials, on a website. We're only giving you access first. So for context, there's almost 400,000 of you in this group. And our limit is, I think there's only a couple hundred seats left. Okay. So those of you on this, you're at the moment right now where you're like, I really want to do it. I told you guys yesterday, I'm so effing certain for you that you play all out, you go all 4 days and you still don't like it. You call me. You call me, you email me. Because I know for a dang fact that you get into this training, the best training that has ever existed on planet effing Earth. The results, there's no limit to what you can create in your life, but you definitely have to take this first step. You've got to make the decision. I can kind of push you over the edge. You couldn't see it, but I kicked you here. I can push you over the edge a little bit, but you've got to make that call for yourself, okay? All right, let's just wrap this up talking about the post-implementation mastermind because that's a really big deal, okay? So our good friend, Dean Graziosi, he has given you guys 2 things, okay? He's going to be the ethical influence training, which is a $100,000 keynote. You guys are going to get that included when you sign up today. You're going to get the virtual ticket. You're going to get the in-person ticket. And then you're also going to get the post-event implementation mastermind. And so what Tony would say is that is creating lasting change. And you can think of it like this. Have you ever read a book, watched a show, you've gone to an event and you're like, holy crap, this changed my life. And then you go back to life and nothing changes. Why does that happen? Is because we didn't lock it in. We didn't really submerge into the community, didn't walk on fire, didn't break through. It's that piece of action that we want to get to. So Tony, Dean, our team, we've created this post-event implementation mastermind for you to link into, connect into, literally wrap yourself in community so that this isn't the end of the journey right now. This is your starting. The end of UPW isn't the end. It's another starting. So you're hopping from lily pad to lily pad to lily pad with all of the people in your community. It's literally mind blowing. Okay. So the options again, you have BA, executive, diamond. If I did not answer clearly your question, which I think I did, let me just check here, then drop them in and I will jump back into this Facebook feed a little bit later today when I have some time and I can answer those questions in here. Okay. Let's see. It looks like we hit everything. All the questions. Oh, you guys are great. If you're feeling fired up, give me a hashtag fired up in the comment box right here. Give me a hashtag fired up. And those of you that are on right now that got your ticket, I want you to put hoorah, HOORAY. Hoorah. Put hoorah in the comment box if you got your ticket. I want to celebrate every single one of you. Okay, tech team, do we have time for a little training right now or should we wrap? You tell me. Wrap it up? Yeah? All right, everyone. I'm going to give you my standard quick hit of inspiration. I promised you a little training at the end here. Take a notebook out. I'm going to wrap this bad boy and I'm going to give you 2 minutes here, a 2-minute slice and dice to rock your world and get you moving to the end of your day. And before I do that, remember, it is upwvirtual.com. This will truly, literally be the last time I mention it. But I want you to know that this moment right now is literally for you. Do not let this be the end, but let this be the beginning, okay? This is your decision, your moment. Tony always says it's your moments of decision that shape your destiny. This is one of those moments. And I will see you at UPW Virtual, www.upwvirtual.com. Get in there. Let's light it up on fire, all right? Here's my final quick hit of training for you. 3 things, okay? 3 things that a leader does. This is called leadership. All of you on here, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've made it, there's like 11,000 of you on the call. If you're still on right now, you are a leader. That is who you are. That's your essence. That's your nature. Even if at times you feel like it's not you, it's you. I'm telling you that because you've made it to day 8 of this training. You are still freaking here. Other people bailed off, dropped out, trying to catch the replays before, but you are here. That means you're a leader. Now, what a leader does is 3 things. They figure out what the hell they want, what they desire. They see things as they are, not worse than they are. They see things as they are, not worse than they are, and maybe a little bit better. Maybe a little bit better, okay? Number 1. The second thing is they figure out what they want. So they see things as they are, not worse, but as they are. The second is they figure out what the hell they want. What are they going after? What's their decision? What's their commitment? Maybe yours is fulfilling the most incredible parts of you, becoming everything that you're capable of being. Maybe it's having a loving relationship or finally getting your finances together or creating that tight butt you've always wanted. Whatever it is, they figure out what the hell they want. And then they make it as they want to see it. It's the third thing. They make it as they want to see it. 3 things. So when you look at comeback season right now, when we are wrapping up day 8, like I literally can't believe we spent 7 days together. You're wrapping up our 8th day in comeback season. And there are 3 things to be a leader in this comeback season. It doesn't matter how hard it is. Some of you have been through the hardest times you've ever gone through. Some of you are going through them right now. Some of you, I pray you never do go through them. But to be a leader, to prevail through those times, you see it as it is, not worse. Definitely not worse. Second thing Tony would tell you is you figure out what the hell you want. Where are you going? What do you want? What do you desire? And number 3, you make it as you want to see it. You figure out a way to get to that North Star. And if you try something and it doesn't work, you try something else. And if that doesn't work, you try something else. And if that doesn't work, try something else. And if that doesn't work, you try something else. And you go until. That's the cycle that you create. That is why the rich get richer. That is why the successful create more success. That is why the passionate have more passion. The energized have more energy. You can only get you all possess, but to possess it, you've got to create it. And it starts with these moments right here, right now. This is one of them. This is one of them right now with UPW Virtual. Okay, so that was my quick hit of inspiration. You guys, oh my gosh, 8 days. Did I even breathe this entire time? I feel like I just friggin' loaded off on you. Here we go. I have loved spending this time with you. It has been one of my deepest joys. I played hype queen this week, so you didn't see a whole lot of this side of me, but I am incredibly excited to spend more time with you, to support and train some of you. And I trust that today, this moment, you will make the decision that takes you to the next level. Don't let yourself lose momentum. Don't let yourself miss this opportunity. I love that Eminem quote, one shot, one opportunity, right? This is it right here, right now. It has been such a beautiful pleasure spending time with every single one of you. Oh, wait, before we wrap, we have gifts, we have surprises, we have prizes. Come on, Tech, you didn't tell me about the prizes. We have prizes. We have 2 winners right here, right now for all the energy and commitment that you guys have given. I'm going to call them out. 2 winners are going to win Dean Graciosi's KBB course that he created with Tony Robbins, his dear friend for over 25 years. They created the Knowledge Broker Blueprint, and we have 2 winners. Winner number 1 is Jennifer Dalton, a top contributor, showed up every single day, over 1,500 views, likes, impressions on her content, contributed to other people in the group. And our second winner is Roger Chin. Hope you guys are on. He did all 6 challenges. He lit it the hell up. He was a supporter of everyone else in the group, and he had incredible engagement on his post. So Jennifer and Roger, congratulations on winning KBB. You guys, a reminder, this ends Thursday night at midnight, if it's not sold out by then. So jump in, grab your ticket, and until I see you next time, live with passion. And if we had music, they'd be playing Roses right now. And I'd be doing a little bit of this. I'd be doing a little bit of this. All right, you guys. Love you so much. Have a killer day, and we'll see you at UPW Virtual. See you later.